because he put it in the wrong hands. Anybody put something in the wrong hands and you had to go back and say, give me back what I put in your hands? You put your heart in the wrong person's hand, and so they was with you for a season, and then they moved on. You put all of your jobs and your career in the wrong hands, and before you knew it, they walked off with your ideas, and they walked off with all of the things that you poured into them because you placed it in the wrong hands. I want to encourage you tonight, the Lord is handling your storm. He's handling your struggle. While you're trying to figure it out, He's already worked it out. While you're trying to find the solution, He's already provided the solution. I dare you tonight to put it in the Lord's hand and watch Him work it out. I dare you to release it to the Lord. Say, Lord, I'm giving it to you. It's too big for me. I'm giving it to you. I need you to work it out. I'm giving it to you because I can't handle it on my own. I'm tired of crying about it. I'm tired of worrying about it. Lord, I release it to you. My brothers and sisters, here in the gospel according to John, you will find there is no star. There is no angels and there is no shepherds. And you don't find that in the first chapter of John. There are no wise men. There is no mentioning of Bethlehem, Mary, and Joseph. No compelling story of a babe in the manger. No genealogy of Jesus to introduce His birth. No Christmas story here in the book of John. Matter of fact, the book of John opens up the way Genesis opens up, in the beginning. John establishes the nature and the character of Jesus. He says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It jumps down and said the Word became flesh and it dwelt among us. I'm going to put a pin right there because I found something out. Oftentimes we don't allow the Word to become flesh in our lives. We have it on the page, but we don't really believe that He can get healed. We have it on the page, but we really don't believe He still makes ways. But you got to allow the Word to become flesh in your situation. If you're sick, guess what? He's yet healing. If you need some money, He is yet sending money your way. You got to learn how to release it and allow the Word to become flesh in your life. All of the four Gospels record the life, ministry, and death and resurrection of Jesus. But each one of the Gospels, they have their own distinct writings. It is written from each author's perspective. Each author is writing to a specific audience for a specific purpose. From the pages of each Gospel emerge a unique but complementary portrait of Jesus Christ. You all know Matthew. Matthew presents Jesus as the Messiah to his Jewish audience. Mark presents a call to discipleship where Jesus is Lord. Luke emphasizes Jesus as teacher and seeks to make the Gentiles certain of the things that Jesus has taught. But John's purpose in writing is clearly defined by John himself. He wanted us to know that Jesus is the Christ, Son of the living God. He is the source of eternal life. The power and the purpose of Jesus the Creator becomes evident as John describes Jesus' earthly ministry. He tells us that Jesus, here in the 6th chapter, that there was a situation that arose. It's a situation where the people were hungry. The text tells us here this miracle is so profound that it is the only miracle besides the resurrection that is recorded in each one of the Gospels. The text said that Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd, and He asked Philip, where can we buy bread where these can eat? The text said that Jesus already knew himself what He was going to do, but He said it to test Philip. You have to remind yourself, dear sirs and ma'ams, that He is the creator of all. He is the omniscient one, which means He's all-knowing, all science. He knows all the ins and the outs to everything that is, everything that was, and everything that is is to come. But the one who knows everything, he already knows the problem before the problem ever presents itself. He already knows what you're going through before you go through it. Anybody know that he is a very present help in the time of trouble? So before the problem ever presents itself, he already has the solution. Now, anybody know he already has the answer? What you're going through, he already has the answer. How do I know he has the answer? Because over 2,000 years ago, he died on Calvary's cross. And so no matter what problem I go through, he's already provided the answer to the problem. Some of you are going through some stuff right now, and you don't have an answer, but he is the answer. I found something out: when you're going through the test, the teacher remains quiet. Because what happens is they already pour in you the answer for the test. And so all you have to do is be reminded of what you already know. So when you go through adversity, you will know the Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. When you go through trials and tribulations, you'll already know that many are the afflictions of the righteous. But the Lord is able to deliver us out of them all. When your body is racked with pain, you already know he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of my peace was upon him, and with his stripes I am healed. When you don't have no money, you already know. I once was young and now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg for bread. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself of the stuff you already know. You got to remind yourself, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil. You got to remind yourself that no weapon that's formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every now and then you got to remind yourself, when you're going through the test, he's already provided the answers. Yes, Lord. He's already provided a way of escape. He's already given you the ability and the power to endure hardship as a good soldier. The problem with us is we complain while we're in, count it all joy. To David said, you gotta have the right response. You gotta have the right response. When you go through adversity, what is the right response? I will bless the Lord at all times, and his praises shall continually. Oh, anybody ever been through hell in your life? Yes, Lord. Your back was up against the wall. The people you trusted betrayed you. The folk you counted on left you for dead. And the only thing you could do was encourage yourself. And you got to praise on a dark day. You reached down and pulled out a praise. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that's within me. I told the folk at Grace, if you're sick, you ought to tell your sickness. You gonna bless him today. If you're depressed, you ought to tell depression. You gonna bless him today. Yes, Lord. You got a headache, you ought to say, headache, you gonna bless him today. Because all that's within me is gonna bless him. It's gonna bless him. So that's why I understand. He said, oh, that. When you magnify, you realize that your problems are small. When you magnify, you realize what you're going through is nothing but a light affliction. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed. Anybody been going through some stuff in your life and people look at you crazy because you came into the house and they know what you were going through, but you still had to praise. They know the hell you've been through. They know the heartache. They know you should be sitting somewhere tucking your tail and hiding, but you decided that I'm still going to bless his name. You decided, though they slay me, yet will I trust him. Any radical praisers in here, no matter what the enemy brings your way, you gonna bless his name. No matter the circumstance or the situation, you're going to bless his name. You've been laid off, I'm still going to bless his name. Don't have no money in the bank account, I'm still going to bless his name. Why can I bless his name? Because my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches which are in glory. Any folk gonna bless his name? Open up your mouth and give him glory. Y'all sit down. I'm getting nervous. Sit down. You got to understand that your problem don't catch God off guard. What you're going through, it don't catch him off guard. When you go through storms, it don't catch him off guard. He already knows the solution to the problem. Bible tells us here that Andrew shares that there is a lad who had 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish. Brothers and my sisters, barley loaves were considered an inferior bread. Barley loaves is what they would give to the poor folk. Barley loaves is what they would have for the children. Now, barley loaves were not like the bread that you get at Texas Roadhouse. Y'all know that good bread that when they serve it warm, get that good cinnamon butter. Barley loaves was not like the bread that they have at Red Lobster. Y'all know. At least get 5 folk who enjoy the bread at Red Lobster. Barley loaves. It's not like that chocolate bread that they, so that's what I call it. And the Cheesecake Factory out that chocolate bread. Barley loaves was not like that bread. Barley loaves wasn't like Jiffy. Y'all know. Anybody ever ate some Jiffy? Y'all know cornbread ain't cornbread unless it's sweet cornbread. As a little boy, my mother, she would make that hot water bread. Y'all know. She would have the skillet and she would pour it in there. And it would look like a pancake. The barley loaves was not like that type of bread we like. Barley loaves was not like the bread like Wonder. Y'all know those good breads that we eat. Hey, y'all know. Matter of fact, some of us, we skip past the bread that look like the back of your hand so we can get, y'all know. I'm the only one who skipped past that front piece. Look at it. It looks like y'all know like the back. We skip past that one to get the good bread, the ones in the middle, contaminating the whole loaf while we go through it. Got to get the good bread in the middle. But barley loaves was not like that bread. Barley loaves were normally eaten by the poor. They were normally given to animals because it was considered an inferior bread. Could I suggest to you, my brothers and my sisters, that many of us here tonight are compared to the boys' lunch. We are insufficient and inferior. What are you saying? You've been overlooked because people thought you weren't good enough. They skipped over you just like we skip over the bread at the front of the row. They thought for sure that there was somebody more qualified and somebody that was better than you. And so I'm so glad that we serve a God that specializes in taking what we deem inferior, what we deem, yes, Lord. He will take your insignificant self and use you for his glory. As David was insignificant. He was out there tending to the sheep. As a matter of fact, they forgot all about David. When Samuel he said, surely